Welcome back everybody, and today I'm going to be posing a question of how I go about watching films and collecting them. And basically I go about watching films in three ways and in two ways in terms of collecting them. In terms of watching, obviously I go from watching films physically, and then I also stream them. But another way that I do it is in a way that I don't see many people do, is physically rent films. Now, obviously you can rent things via streaming, but that isn't by that isn't by a monthly subscription. Whereas when you physically rent, you do get it by a monthly subscription, and I do it via Cinema Paradiso. Not sure if there's any equivalent in, say, the US or anywhere else, but basically they send the films off in an envelope like this, which is connected by another piece of paper between here and here that you pull off because it's all serrated, and that keeps the film secure when before you obviously open it. And then you insert the films inside the wallet here when you have done with them. Peel back the little sticker thing here. I hope you can see that there. And then you end up just sealing it like that. And then you send it off in the post. And they come like this. So this is a few that I recently got in the post. And so we got Truck Turner, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Toy Soldiers, and Class of 1984. Now, I generally get these films purely because either the version on streaming isn't of good quality, or there's no subtitles, or they're just not generally available on streaming services. And three of these aren't available on streaming services. And if they are available on streaming services, like say Amazon, then you have to rent them, and that can range from £2.49 for a standard edition to £3.49 for a HD version, or if you even want to get a 4K, then you're looking at like £6, maybe £7 for a 4K version. So it makes much more sense for me to go on a monthly subscription like Cinema Paradiso, because it's only like £20 a month. I generally get between 9 to 12 films, so even if at £2.49 a film on Amazon, you'd still be spending more on Amazon than you would be via this. And obviously a lot more films are available on Blu-ray physically than they are available HD wise on streaming. So it makes a lot more sense for me to rent them physically, basically. So I do obviously have 4 streaming services. I don't pay for them all myself. They are either co-owned with someone else or family. So I do have Now TV, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Disney Plus that are available to me. Again, many films that I own aren't even available on these streaming services. So just to give you some numbers, 563 Blu-rays and 4K films I currently own. Of those, 95 available on Now TV, 29 of them are available on Amazon Prime, 26 of them are available on Netflix, and 25 of them are available on Disney Plus. Now there is some crossover there, but even if we're generous and say that all of those films are only available on each of those individual streaming services, then that still only equals 175 films, and is only 31% of my overall collection, which is really low, to be honest. And it doesn't get any better when you concern a watch list either. I currently have a watch list of 1,888 films. Of those, only 145 are on Now TV, 169 are on Amazon Prime, 139 are on Netflix, and 49 are available on Disney Plus. So again, even if we're generous and say that all of those are only available on those individual streaming services and there's no crossover, that only equals 498, and therefore 26% of my watch list. So physically renting really does make up for that massive gap. Now that's not to say that every film on my watch list or every film I own I have watched physically on rental services first. Obviously I have also watched some of the ones I own on streaming services, which is why some of them are actually available currently on streaming services that I currently own. But sorry, my cat is wanting to come in, so I'm going to have to let her in at the moment. She's getting on my nerves. Come on. Go lie down. So basically a lot of the films that I do own, I have never had to see, been able to see it on the streaming services first. I've had to physically rent them. I did that with the majority of the Columbia Noir films, the first 2 box sets I watched the most of, and yeah, I got all of them physically because they just weren't available on streaming services. And that's the problem with streaming services in general. Netflix has very few old films, and Amazon Prime and Now TV aren't much better, and Disney Plus really only has their own old films. So yeah, that's basically the way I go about watching and collecting films, really. Just a mix of those 3, and it works for me really, really well. Obviously, it's expensive because to obviously have Amazon Prime and Now TV or any of the others, you have to obviously pay monthly, and then obviously Cinema Paradiso has a monthly subscription as well. But to be honest, if you're into films like I am, then you want as many avenues possible to be able to watch them, and yeah, Cinema Paradiso offers up a great deal. I have about 400 on my list of theirs currently waiting to be seen by me, so that is again a lot, and very nearly as much as a generous total on my watch list that I can currently see on streaming. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how you guys go about watching and collecting films, because I generally would prefer to watch a film before buying it, which is why I have these 4 here by physically, because if I do enjoy them enough, then I will watch them. And I have actually seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre before, but I haven't seen it for a while, and I'd rather see it again before obviously buying it. But yeah, I have bought a lot via watching them first, either on streaming or physically, and yeah, that's why my collection is able to grow the way it is in confidence, because I do watch them first, and therefore I'm not, chancing it on wasting money or anything like that, because I do not like to waste money on films. I'd rather, rent them physically or on streaming, or watch them for free via streaming first before I end up making a concrete purchase. So yeah, I do hope that streaming services pick up in terms of their variety, because yeah, less than half of my collection and watch list is really not ideal in all honesty. So yeah, I do hope that they pick up. Someone said that Netflix has so few old films that their film noir collection is completely devoid, despite the fact that they recently brought out a homage to film noir with the woman in the window. So yeah, which was a curious thing to notice, especially since there is a film noir from the 40s called The Woman in the Window, and they don't even have that. So yeah, I do hope, again, like I said, that they pick up in streaming services in terms of content, because there's a whole breadth of films out there that are just not represented, and if they are represented, then you have to actually buy them. A lot of films that I can't get on DVD or Blu-ray, I've had to buy on streaming services for like £10. So yeah, it's not all streaming services that are bad. Obviously, there are some films out there that don't even have a Blu-ray release at the moment. True Lies and The Abyss are 2 big, films out there that haven't yet had a Blu-ray release. I know James Cameron at some point was wanting to put them out on Blu-ray, but obviously the Fox got bought up by Disney, and then Disney are really not adamant about wanting to put films out on physical all that much. So yeah, I just hope it gets sorted out, because yeah, more choice in more areas is only better for everyone else as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, like I said, I'd like to hear how you guys go about watching and collecting films. If you watch them before you buy them, or if you just blind buy them. I have blind bought some films before, again purely because they're not available on physical or streaming services to rent. So yeah, that's sometimes a gamble I do take, but only generally if I've seen a film before with those people that are in that blind buy film, or the director, or even the composer at some time. So yeah, but nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.